fact scheduled, I'm going to present to you a very early draft of the next part of my PhD, and I would very much appreciate comments on that, both on theory and methodology. The next part of my project I labeled Ideology through the Party Lens, how partisanship affects voters' perceptions of the left-right position. I'm basically looking at what determines how voters perceive themselves on the left-right scale. So the typical question that we know from the EES, where do you see yourself on the left-right scale, from 0 to 10. The literature offers us three explanations. Firstly, voters' issue positions determine how voters place themselves in left-right terms. Secondly, social structural affinities such as religion and social class affect how people see themselves in left-right terms. The third explanatory variable is the partisanship, party loyalty. The first article that has been written on that was by Engelhardt and Klingemann in 1976, and there were studies replicating that. The most recent one in 2006, and all studies are showing that partisanship has the strongest effect on a left-right self-placement. However, those studies had methodological problems. Firstly, that was a problem of measurement. Engelhardt, problem of measurement, I will expand on it further. I was guided by the problem of measurement, and I got interested in how this partisanship affects left-right self-placement for different kinds of partisans of different kinds of parties. And I hypothesize here that for partisans of ideologically extreme parties, partisanship will more strongly affect voters' left-right self-placement. And my hunch here was that if I'm a partisan of an ideologically extreme party, let's say an anti-capitalist party, extreme left or extreme right party, nationalist party, I would see myself more in a contradistinction to society, and this stance of mine, I see myself at the outskirts, at the extreme to the right or to the left, would affect how I see myself, how I see the party would affect more how I see myself in left-right terms. So I was thinking that maybe this political exclusionism would lead to the stronger association between partisanship and voter left-right self-placement. I mentioned the methodological problems. Engelhardt and Klingemann suggested to use as a measure of partisanship, if I'm a partisan of party A, and I see this party on, let's say, 8 in left-right terms, that would be the score that I should assign to the partisan variable. However, Engelhardt and Klingemann, they did not have this measure, and they worked with aggregate measures to show that partisanship has the strongest effect. In fact, we have this measurement, which has never been used so far, even by scholars working recently on this topic. So I decided to use this question, where a voter, where a voter sees a party on the left-right scale, the party he is a partisan of. In this study, I included, so my partisan measurement is, I'm a partisan of the individual one is a partisan of party A. He sees this party as 8, so I assign the value of 8 to the variable partisanship. I include non-partisans because otherwise, if I would exclude them, the partisanship effect would be much stronger, and it has been shown in the previous literature. So I have 3 levels of partisanship using the EES: very close partisans, fairly close partisans, merely sympathizers. And there's another question, leanership. If people did not answer whether they are partisans of a certain party, they were asked another question, but do you see yourself a bit closer to one of the parties, and there was a list given, so I call those people leaners. As I hypothesized that maybe for partisans, for more extreme parties, this partisanship will have a stronger effect on left-right, I devised a measure, I use a measure of party extremity. And this measure has been used by Mark Franklin and Kees van der Eyck in Choosing Europe. So I'm taking here the interpolated median of where political parties stand in left-right terms, and I deduct from this measure the interpolated median of where voters in a political system stand in left-right terms. I do not resort to other sources like the Chapel Hill, because the earliest version that we had is 2006, and they do not have many parties, like especially those extreme parties that I wanted to tap into. So I use the interpolated median as Mark Franklin did. A second measure that I add is I classify the parties and party families according to the Common Manifesto project because I'm interested in extreme left and in extreme right parties. So I hope it's visible to a certain extent. So we have all measures of issues, so attitudes towards enterprise, ownership, and so on and so forth. I replace voters' left-right self-placement on those measures. I control by political knowledge, education, social class, religion. And then I have the measure of partisanship, and we see that for partisans and for leaders, this effect is strongly significant and it's very high. It's the highest. That's the highest effect. I have the extremity measure, and with the interaction, maybe it's a bit visible here with 0.06, 0.05 for leaders. It shows me that the more extreme the party is in left-right terms, the stronger is the effect of partisanship on how voters see themselves in left-right terms. But that shows me just across the board. If I go by one unit in extremity, then I get, in addition, 0.06 of partisanship. But I'm interested now in categories. So for which categories is this partisanship really the highest? And I split the database into Western European countries, Central Eastern European countries, and we have 28 political systems together. What you see here are the categories of extremity, so 5 categories. On the y-axis, we see the effect of partisanship on left-right self-placement, and we clearly see that in the last category, 4 or 5, for the most extreme parties is both extreme left and extreme right. The effect of partisanship is the highest, and it goes across the board for all kinds of partisans and leaners. So, okay, I see that there is something in extremity, but can we really say that those are the right-wing, well, extreme right, extreme left parties for which, well, for partisans of which partisanship has the strongest effect on left-right self-placement? So I took the measure from I took the classification from the CMP, and I cross-validated it with the literature on Eastern Europe, Western Europe, right-wing parties and left-wing parties, and I flagged them as dummies. Do we have it? No. Here, exactly. You don't see the upper part of the table, but you see it down from partisanship, and I have all the party families, and I created a dummy, both extreme right and extreme left parties, and I interacted with partisanship, and you see that the effect is positive, significant, as I predicted, well, in my hypothesis, controlling by all other political party families. And I repeated this procedure by interacting partisanship with every other party family, and then I get an insignificant effect of partisanship, except for Christian democratic parties where the interaction is negative, and we also can see it to a certain extent in the graphs. And the R-square is quite high, and this analysis has been done on imputed data. I didn't impute partisanship because it's not missing at random. So that's basically it. Thank you very much. I would be very glad for some comments, both on theory and methodological part.
Okay, thank you.